Well, finally, most of us have an attic or basement that's just full of all kinds of junk, discarded items, pieces of metal, what have you. Well, to an artist named Tim Pace, that junk could be a source of art. Rob Wiles takes us to a place called Finger, Tennessee, close to Jackson, for this profile of a Tennessee eco artist.
This is nice. Jackson Library, it's real nice. Oh, let's take a look at this grass over here. That's something, isn't it? Look at that. Wait. Ah! How'd you like to run into that in your yard? Not real, of course, but that's one big mantis. And like a real insect, it came out of a larva of old used metal, and designed by the artist Tim Pace.
Tim Pace spends a lot of time digging through, well, it's junk.
These were some pieces that I had picked up, did not know what they were. I figured they were blacksmithing tools, and I had somebody correct me and said, no, those are for farrers or whatever, the horseshoe guys, to pull nails and stuff. But I had picked some of them up at a flea market to use as legs for a bird, okay? Had no idea what they were. Probably wasn't even that important what it was. It was the fact that that's the perfect shape. It's there, you know, you take this piece here, you know, being from the city, I knew that farmers used tools, but I didn't know what they were called. You got your legs, your body, and a pair of old hog rings, and you got a bird.
It wasn't always like this. Tim was an electrician until he sort of inherited a welder.
I made a golfer for my stepdad during lunch break at a manufacturing plant in Selmer. Made that, my boss saw it. He says, I gotta have one of those. And I said, well, all right. Well, I made that for him, and his boss saw it and says, hey, I want one of those. I made 3 or 4 of those, and they were golfers that you could put in your flower bed. And they were all made out of just some junk that everybody has laying in their garage.
Now a full-time artist, Tim comes to his shop sometimes with no idea what he'll make, but that's really no problem.
Almost all pieces are created from the metal itself. I'll take a shovel, I'll take a brake drum, or I'll take something and kind of look at that. I have what I call a wish list, and that's a customer, you know, Miss Smith will call up and she'll say, Tim, I would like such and such in this size and this price range. What I do is I'll make a piece, and then I look at my wish list to see what piece I have just made that fits somebody's request. And I found that to be a lot easier for me, and because I don't mass produce, each one is totally different from the next. So what I'm thinking you would like may not be what you would like. So I just kind of make a piece that I feel like making, and then I'll send you a picture or whatever. But most of the time it's just I let the metal tell me what it wants to be, and kind of let it flow from there.
Does the metal speak to you often?
Yes, all the time, 24/7. In the middle of the night, I've woken up. I literally have come out at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and taken some metal that was in that big pile, pull out something and lay it next to something else. And for me, that's easier than sketching, because I don't have patterns, I don't have finished pieces in the shop, I don't have templates, I don't have jigs. So when I come up with something in the middle of the night, the quickest, most accurate way to do that is to lay the pieces on the floor right in front of the bench. So when I come out with my coffee cup in the morning, I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do.
In fact, you might be surprised how many different things Tim can make out of, say, well, an old shovel.
I mean, you can make an owl, you could do a face for a big body, you could do a vulture, you could do a crab. Turn it this way, you could do a pelican. I mean, so you take them one piece and you're just literally twisting it, and it's how it finishes. I've made sailboats out of these. So, you know, it's just taking that single piece, and it really is. It's puzzle art in abstract form.
Tim thinks of himself as an environmentally friendly artist. He calls his place Eco Art. since he is sort of the ultimate recycler.
I don't use aluminum, I don't use copper. I use what's readily available around here, which is the car parts, farm equipment. I use a little bit of manufacturing scrap, but I stay away from that as much as possible because then each piece looks, for lack of a better term, looks manufactured. They all start to look exactly the same. When you take one piece, cut it up, you've already used this piece, so on the next one that you would make, it can't look the same. So it'll be similar in size, maybe in the shape or something, but it's not gonna be the same.
So whether it's a bird or a bug, although this probably should have been made out of a Volkswagen hubcap, or a fisherman, or a hose-holding mantis, it was only scrap before eco artist Tim Pace of Finger, Tennessee, laid his hands on it.